Hello and welcome to today's video. Now it's quite a different video, this one, because I'm not filming it all in one go. It's going to be shot over a period of days. And the reason why I'm out in the garden is because it's all about our garden in this video. And we are having a decking area built sort of here where I'm standing. And it's going to go from over here all the way to about here. And at the end of the deck there is going to be a log cabin which Vicky's going to be using as an office. Now, the guys that are coming to build it are just sort of putting the decking in and putting the base in for the log cabin. We're actually going to build the log cabin for ourselves, which could be a true test of our marriage, but yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to film a little bit at the end of each day showing you what's happened and how the process has gone on, and you can see it develop over time. It should only take 4 to 5 days, I've been told, but I won't be sort of filming as the guys are here doing stuff because I don't think they really want cameras stuck in their faces. So yeah, I'll do a little roundup each day, maybe a little bit of time lapse, and hopefully you'll see it all come together. But yeah, it's a bit strange to think this will be the last time this bit of the garden looks as it does. So yeah, let's get on with it. There's a rather large concrete base behind me. So basically today was sort of the start of the project, and we worked out exactly where the decking was going to go. So we've got a line now that goes all the way over to there. So here's the concrete base for the cabin. It is huge. There's a lot of concrete in there. They had to use just over 2 tons of sand. God knows how much cement. It's drying off nicely now. But yeah, a lot of today has been spent lugging cement from over there to over here. And they've been absolute troopers. I mean, aside from the massive bit of concrete in the middle of the garden, you wouldn't have believed that there have been builders here. They have honestly been amazing. Like, they just tidy all the time, constantly tidying. And that kind of makes me happy, because I don't like a mess. And yeah, you wouldn't know that they've been here. Now also today we had some stuff delivered, and that's the wood to make the frame and also the decking. So let's go out to the driveway and have a look at that. There's a lot of wood and also our decking. So we've gone for a composite decking, so it's essentially made out of sort of plastic, and it's got 2 sides, so you can either have this groove side or you can have the sort of wood effect. Now we're going for the groove. So this is all the timber and stuff that will build the frame and the supports for all that decking. And honestly, it's all feeling a bit real now. They've even cleaned the driveway. They were hosing down the driveway, bless them. That will eventually be our deck. But actually something that has come into sort of play today is just how wonky the bottom of the garden is, because it does sort of dip off quite a bit at the end. We discovered that only one fence, as in this one, is square to the house. None of the others are. So yeah, it's been a bit interesting, but basically the whole deck is going to be square to the house rather than square to the fences, because it just wouldn't work otherwise. So yeah, obviously at the back of the deck we've got a sort of slightly triangular shaped bit, but it can't be helped, and my foot's literally so it's so off the bonk here. And because they didn't realise quite how deep they'd have to go at the back, they've actually had to go and get more sand and cement because they ran out. Literally they only needed like 2 barrels more, but because that back bit is so deep, they ran out. But you know, they just got on with it, which is amazing. So yeah, that's basically how things are at the end of day 1. And you'll join me on day 2 and we can see how the rest of it goes. at the end of day 2, and what a day it's been. As you can see, there is a lot of decking behind me. They have put a shift in today, and it is a Saturday, and they're coming back tomorrow on a Sunday, obviously, to crack on. So as you can see, the framework is all there. There's sort of some cement in there waiting to go off, but you really get to see just how big the deck will be. That rhymes. So let's go a little bit closer. It is huge. I think those beams are set out at 40 centimetres-ish. I think the overall run of the decking is just over 8.5 metres, so that's quite a long old run. And tomorrow they're hoping to actually start laying the boards. Now, because it's a composite decking, there's no actual screws through the decking boards. They use clips to fix it on, so there's no sort of ugly screw heads, which is amazing. So yeah, honestly, the guys have been so good today. It's just been head down, get on with it, and yeah, honestly, it is amazing. So I'm looking forward to showing you the rest of the progress tomorrow. Let's see what tomorrow brings. So we're at the end of day 3 now on our build, and it's beginning to look a lot like a deck. We've actually got something we can walk on properly now, and it's looking amazing. I'm so pleased with it. Honestly, it's just incredible, and I'm so happy that the boys worked on a Sunday. It's 5:30 now, and they probably went about 5 or 10 minutes ago, so they've had a really hard day today because it's been absolutely roasting. And the problem is it's a bit like wood does. It expands and contracts with the heat, so they've had a bit of a battle getting it in the temperatures today, but they persevered and they've absolutely smashed it. So what they're actually going to do is they're going to come back tomorrow evening and do a bit more when it's a little bit cooler in the evening, and put a shift in later in the day, which is great. That's fine by us, we're always here, and yeah, we just want to get it done. Yeah, there's not really much else to say. We've had an incredible day, and you can actually see now what we're going to get, and that is just so exciting. Okay, so yeah, probably back sometime tomorrow. Well, it's 7:30 at the end of day 4 of this build, and it's a big old deck we've got here. Now, the guys actually started later today just to sort of be here when it's a little bit cooler, because apparently it's a lot easier to lay the boards when it's cooler, and they certainly have smashed through it today, as you'd have seen on the time lapse. So realistically, there's just this little bit here left to do, which really isn't all that much, although they do have a slightly aggy bit where it's on an angle, and I'm going to be intrigued to see how they do that. But honestly, it looks so good, it really does. And I think what I like most about it is the picture frame effect. There is a border all around it, which I will show you when it's finished. So they think they're going to be finished tomorrow. They've obviously got to finish off the bit of decking. They're going to put some slates round the corners there just to finish things off a bit. They've also got to run a power cable from the back of where the cabin's going to be around the garden and out towards where the electricity comes in. Oh, and they're also being very kind and putting in a new spike for my washing line, because the current spike is sort of under the concrete now. I'm so happy with it. It just looks incredible. And I just couldn't really picture the size of it all in my head when they started, but yeah, it's massive, and there's just so much room for everything, and it's going to meet all of our requirements. So yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll have a pretty finished product. We shall see. So yeah, see you tomorrow. So it is the end of day 5 and the boys popped back to finish that. The deck is done. I can walk right over to this corner and stand here. Now it took them a while today because they've had these very difficult angles here in the corner because the fences aren't square. This fence is square, this fence isn't, that fence isn't. So yeah, they had a very tricky time, but it looks amazing. So there's just a few little jobs left to do. They're going to fill the back area with slate and also put in the power cable that will run out that way, and they're going to sink the washing line pole. But they won't be back tomorrow, they'll be back the following day to finish up. But now we can start using the deck, so our bean bags are going to go on it, our table's going to go on it, and we can start to enjoy it in this amazing weather. And I just cannot emphasize enough how good Amos have been. This isn't sponsored in any way, they're not giving me any money off the bill for mentioning them. They've been superb and we're really happy. So yeah, join me for the final day when this is all finished. Well, as you can see, it's all finished and looking amazing, and thankfully we've had a good bit of weather to start to enjoy it. Now the deck was actually finished probably a few days ago now, since you last saw an update, and we've become properly at home with it, and it is just so nice to have. The finish on it has been absolutely impeccable. Like, you look at how they've lined everything up and how it joins, and it just looks amazing. So we've used composite decking, which means it doesn't need to be stained every year and sort of looked after. It just looks after itself, and we just need to give it a little bit of a wash down occasionally. And also it means it doesn't get like the moss on it and become slippy, so it should be safe. It's been an interesting project, and we're still not completely finished because we've got to build the log cabin, which will be Vicky's office. You know, drop in the comments if you'd like to see that being built. That should be fun, especially if this hot weather continues. But yeah, this has really changed our garden and given us a usable space that we didn't really have before. If you remember at the start of this video, this bit of space here was just a sort of sloping bit of ground and we couldn't use it, and now it's all flat and solid. And yeah, I can sit here with Vicky, James and Dougie and have a nice relax. So yeah, thank you very much to Amos for all their hard work. I'll put their details in the description below. Go check them out, go give them a follow. The work they do is just... Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but for now, it's game over.